This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
Big O, we told you we ain't playing no games, man. It's just surely probably Pablo, Culture, Lord Productions.
Good morning, South Florida.
This is the Big O Show.
You're tuned into the Big O Show.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Yo, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio show with Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams, from the Dolphins to the Heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, Friday Pablo in the Big O Show.
O's on the radio, the top's where we gonna go. Miami, that's the way we roll. Locked on the morning show, Big O. No one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk live and direct. Because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live, it's the best of the best. He's got the fins, got the heat, he's the best of the best. Big O, the only talking sports with a style.
Break it a morning, it's Big O-N. Thank you for tuning in, keeping you glued in. Stay tuned, because right here's where the rumors in. Same place, because right here some of them begin. Simply call and just state your opinion. Real talk, sports talks, the Big O Show. Yeah, you love it, yeah, you like it, call them and let them know.
Culture, probably Pablo. You know, now introducing the man of the hour, Big O, a.k.a. Orlando also Gary. Yeah.
All righty. Yes, sir. It's a beautiful Monday. Welcome aboard to the show. We are ready to rock. We are ready to roll. And, yes, we got Bill by our side here, ready to rock. You all right? Good morning, Bill. You doing good?
Doing great, man.
Well, wait a minute. It would be good if you had your mic on.
Yeah, it would help a little bit. Not as excited as it was Friday night. I told you it was like you thought I was going to Busch Gardens to ride roller coasters. I couldn't sleep coming in, Saturday morning.
It's a good test on Saturday.
But still a little excited. It's still there.
Yeah. So let me move a little bit here, as I see my face is in the way of my face. So anyway, welcome aboard, because we kind of tested all of this on Saturday. For those of you that maybe, if you weren't watching on Saturday, I told you that we were going to try to figure all this stuff out. We'll have guests today on the show. We'll we've got all the bells and whistles now with everything going on, effects-wise.
Moving up in the
video,
world.
Yes, everything, just kind of getting used to this whole thing. And and restarting the podcast, kind of our second week now of restarting the podcast. Actually, tomorrow will be the official one complete week as we started last Tuesday. And, of course, it's been a terrific response. And again, we've already got the folks on. We used to, like, come on and then everybody would start logging on. But now we could kind of fire it off before, in a way, by the teaser. And so everybody was getting on already. As I see, NorCal was the first one in 11 minutes prior to when we were on. And so NorCal goes, got the pregame, pre-show attitude adjustment going. Hope you had a great Father's Day, Big O. Bill and listeners, Fins for Life. So good stuff there. Matt Walker is in. Omar Lopez. John Rouse is in the house. Matt of 1005 Holds. Mike Jamorik, or Jamorazik. Who else here? Manuel Malo. Fred Soros says Michigan is in the house. Thomas Flores is in. So a lot of you already. Herman Cueva is getting in. John Santos. DJ Gallagher in. Raging Dolphin Maniac. Duck Dog 1104. Lisa Rose in the house. She's happy for her sons. Obviously, the Suns looking good, winning game one and everything of the Western Command. Booker was outstanding. We'll get into that shortly. Ray Grullon is in. Julius Miami says he's ready to support, which we love you for that. Brooklyn Rob is in. Jay Gelfin is in. What is that? Fuck a Carrier? Is that what it says there? G Fuck a Carrier from North Carolina? See, the beauty is we're on YouTube, so it's, I'm not going to get censored here. And NYC Sports is also in the building already.
How unlike you.
I'm sure there's more people watching that are on the board, but I appreciate those of you watching that are silent and stay in the background. And, of course, appreciate all of you that are already on the chat board. So
Usually you try to keep the F-bombs down. You just
jumped
out right out the blocks.
Fuck a Carrier is not a
there
bad
you go.
word.
Say it again.
It's not a bad word, fuck a Carrier.
Okay. You know what?
Now, if you left one of them alone, then it's a bad word.
Oh, standing on its own, it jumps out.
Right.
In capital letters
but
hard.
all together, I mean, it's not really a
You saying there's 20
word.
people standing waiting? I'm thinking like a racetrack. The guy's walking them up into the gate, and everybody's getting in position, waiting for the gate to open and go.
Oh, man. So a beautiful Monday. Appreciate all of you out there. Hope you had, for those of you that are fathers out there, hope you had a good Father's Day. I know I had a nice quiet one. The only thing is I realized that there was a funnel cake place pretty close to here, and I wanted a damn elephant ear, so I don't know, maybe I'll get one today or something
One up
like
you,
that.
bro.
Not that I should.
One up you.
Huh?
Chocolate Grenache from Publix yesterday.
There you go.
Oh, bro.
There you go.
Wow.
That'll definitely take care of it right there. So appreciate all of you out there, as always, tuning in and helping us out here on the chat board, whether you're watching on YouTube, whether you're watching on Facebook. No, not Facebook. It's YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn, I believe, is where we've got the different connections going on. So wherever you're watching, whether it's YouTube or Twitter or LinkedIn, we appreciate those of you that have linked in with us here today on the program. Got a bunch of things to talk about today on the show. Obviously, we've got the NBA playoffs. We've got the Marlins. We've got InterMiami. Franco Panizo is going to join us at 11:30. So we'll have a little fun with Franco, and we'll talk about the InterMiami loss on Saturday, which was very disappointing. Not surprising, but disappointing because it's just not a good team right now. And so it's a rough one. At 12:30, our buddy Alan Pupar is going to stop by, talk a little Miami Dolphins. So we'll get his thoughts after the mini camp. And some of the things I want to talk about today also Dolphins-wise that I want to get into. And I think it's, a couple subjects that obviously are going to be following us around a little bit. But I want to kind of shed a little more light on some of the stuff that's going on with the Miami Dolphins headed into the 2021 season, which I expect it to be one hell of a season come hell or high water. Either way, it's going to be a lot of fun this year following the Dolphins and cheering them on. Hey, congrats to the Marlins over the weekend. They were able to take 2 of 3 from the Cubbies. I know that they've been going through a rough patch, but, man, the 10-2 and 11-1 games on Friday and Saturday were fun. I mean, Adam Duvall can barely hit over the Mendoza line, but he's got, 16 home runs on the season already, 52 RBIs. He's got a 732 OPS, which, it's just, oh, man, whatever. But Duvall went crazy, hitting 4 home runs over the weekend, including a grand slam on Friday. That man had 10 RBIs over 2 days on the weekend. That was huge. Yesterday, unfortunately, they lost, but taking 2. Hey, listen, you take 2 of 3 from the Cubs. That's a good thing for the Marlins. Taking 2 of 3 from anybody for the Marlins is productive. They're off today. Hopefully they can get back on track. They've got the Blue Jays on Tuesday. Blue Jays are a 500 team, a little better than the Marlins, obviously, but still, these are winnable games for them. They've got a shot at taking – listen, if they can support their pitching, their starting pitching, which has been pretty good overall, they'd be a much better team. But, I mean, this is kind of part of the growing pains with all of this. And I know some of you will say, well, they need to go and acquire somebody. And at this point, even acquiring somebody is not really going to get you anywhere. So if you're the Marlins, you need to coast a little bit. You need to develop.
Unless you're jumping into the playoffs.
Right.
That's when you make a move.
Right.
We're going to stay where we're at. Just stay the course.
Right.
And you also get these guys to get playing time. If you bring somebody in, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
But like you said, the Cubs coming in, man, they were like the hottest team the last 2-3 weeks in the league.
I mean, taking 2 or 3 from anybody for the Marlins is a good thing. Taking it from the Cubs is pretty sweet.
Quality chip there.
Yeah. So now let's see if they can kind of build on it. And Trevor Rogers will start it off on Tuesday, which is a nice way to start off because Trevor can definitely play ball. He has been pitching lights out. So let's hope he can pick it up, and hopefully they can take 2 of 3 from Toronto. Anyway, if you want to reach out to us, remember you can reach out to us on the chat line on YouTube there, where we've got plenty of people already. On Twitter at Big O Show, we've got our Twitter page up too. So if any of you want to send me a tweet, since we are on Twitter also and people can watch, you can also react on Twitter. If you got a question, you got a comment, any of that kind of stuff, we will check it here on the YouTube. We will check it on Twitter. Obviously, the super chat is always welcomed, always appreciated for a little support on the show. Playoffs. Let's start off with the Hawks and the Sixers. And when we talk about the Hawks and the Sixers, we're talking about a team in the Sixers that it was trust the process. It was basically tank for all these players. And it's got to be frustrating for the city of Philadelphia that you've kind of fought through all of this, and look where you've ended up now, that after it's all said and done, the process is still incomplete. And, you think about everything going on with this team and getting all these players. And when you get all these players, you end up, you pick all these players at a high level, at a high level in the first round, and it's almost like you're expecting to become a championship caliber type team, and that's kind of what you expected when you drafted these players and put all of this together, and it has not happened. And it hasn't happened because of Ben Simmons. And Joel Embiid can be frustrated, and I know Doc Rivers, who's kind of used to choking and coming up short, which we'll get to that too. But when you have a point guard, you cannot play in the fourth quarter. When you have a point guard that is scared to play in the fourth quarter, literally, if you're not willing to shoot the ball, then you're afraid of playing this game. And those stats of him in the fourth quarter are just downright scary, dude. And it shows that it is mentally in him. You know what I mean? It's the same thing that happened to Chuck Knobloch. It's the same thing that happened to, what was the name of that Cardinals kid, the outfielder that also lost his mojo. And it's just, we've seen this before. They call it the yips and all that stuff. I don't know if it's the yips or you're just afraid at this point. You have zero confidence in your offensive game. Okay? Zero confidence. That's basically what it looks like right now for them. Zero confidence. And so you're talking about a guy that you're paying him a boatload of money, $140 million plus is left on that deal. And somehow or another, you can't play this guy in the fourth quarter? This is supposed to be one of your standout players? This is supposed to be one of your franchise players? I don't know how you fix this. I really don't, because I don't know how you get into Ben Simmons' mind. And you need a psychiatrist. You need some kind of a shrink or something to get into this kid's head to try to figure out what the hell's going on. And I don't know how you straighten out this shot at all. Because first of all, you got to get him to get the balls to actually take the shot. And you could work on it all off season. You're not in a game in the fourth quarter. And so if you're not willing to take a shot in the fourth quarter, you're not willing to take a shot, period, as it is. You're not willing to go in to dunk because you're afraid that you can't go to the foul line to hit a free throw. So all of these things going on with Ben Simmons, it's a mental thing that I don't know if you can actually fix it. Chuck Knobloch, once he lost it, he was never the same guy again. Rick Ankiel, thank you, Steve Chapman, appreciate that. And Ankiel also, once they got those yips or whatever the hell you want to call it, they never really, like Stella found their groove, they never really found their groove ever again.
Ankiel became a hitter.
What? Yeah.
Ankiel became a hitter.
Yes, exactly. He had to be forced to become a hitter.
Simmons, you were talking about 4 through 7. No fourth quarter shots. 4 through 7, all those games.
Yeah.
And you're one of the biggest out of your draft class? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Yeah. No, it's to me, this whole Simmons thing is one where this is a major problem because you can't trade him now. Nobody's going to give you a frontline player because remember, the salaries have to match the salaries. So either you're going to get a pile of crap that they're going to give you like 5-6 players that equal his salary, but they're 5-6 of, James Johnsons and Whitesides of the world and Tyler Johnsons. Somebody that wants to unload a bunch of bad contracts, that's the only way you're going to be able to unload the guy. And then you're taking on a bunch of bad contracts. Now, if they're all expiring deals, maybe you're willing to do that. Maybe you'd rather just sit out the year, gain the cap space the following year, and go get a star that you want when it's all said and done. But it's funny how the Sixers have made all kinds of bad decisions. Instead of Tobias Harris, you should have given the money to Jimmy Butler. Butler would have brought some swag to that team and would have helped them out. Now, is Butler the shooter you want at the end of games? No, but he's definitely the spine you want on your team. A guy that's really going to bring it. You know what I'm saying? So this Simmons situation, I'm going to be really intrigued to see how they go about fixing this because Ben Simmons knows he's the problem. And so now the organization is finally going to face the music publicly. I mean, when Doc Rivers, pretty much comes out and says, yeah, I don't know if he can be the point guard of a championship team, which is true. Listen, Jason Kidd wasn't a great shooter, but he made himself a serviceable shooter and a decent three-point shooter. Magic Johnson wasn't the greatest outside shooter either, but he got better, and he had that little shot put from 3. He developed a baby hook. He did all kinds of different things to kind of make himself a scorer, and he had that dog in him that he wanted to score. Ben Simmons, his confidence should come strictly from attacking, because you're so big, you're so strong. What you got to do is work on your free throws, attack people around the rim, build your confidence by attacking people around the rim, then build your 6-footer and your 10-footer and your 12-footer and your 15-footer. You're not going to make Ben Simmons right now a three-point shooter. You're not going to make a guy that can't hit free throws a three-point shooter. So you need to start from inside out, okay? I'm not a basketball expert, but I know one thing. This dude can take it inside on anybody because he's 6'10". So I'd make him live at the free throw line all day just shooting free throw shots. Get him to the point where he's super confident with free throw shots so I can get him confident attacking the hole. And then when I get him attacking the hole confidently because he can confidently hit the free throws, then I can start to push him out because he confidently can hit the free throws. So even though they're probably going to let him shoot because they're going to say, well, you got to make him before we start covering you because that's kind of the game. But I think with Ben Simmons, you have to first work on attacking the rim with him. I think that's what you really have to do. Attack the rim and hit free throws. And then you can start to work everything else out. But the first stage has to be attacking the rim.
Getting to his contract, $33 million, 33, 40,
Yeah.
47 through 25. Guess what? He ain't going nowhere.
No.
Who is it more of an indictment on the loss? Is it Ben Simmons or Embiid's 9-10 turnovers?
Eight
Which one?
turnovers. He had 8 turnovers. No, Ben Simmons is the liability completely on that team. Absolutely.
So, Ben, this is more on Ben.
This is all on Ben. Well, I mean, the whole loss isn't on Ben.
Because you saw Doc try to, Embiid made the bad pass at the end, and you can't do the turnovers. I think that was kind of to protect Ben a little bit, not put the whole onus on it, right?
Yep. By the way, John Rouse is strong in the house. 3 straight super chats.
What?
With 3 stickers, with a little hey you, with a little fist bumping, with a little thumbs up. Thank you, John Rouse in the house with a little super chat. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Talk to John on Saturday.
Yeah. Your audio is faded to the left, Big O. I don't know what to tell you, my brother. I don't know what that means. It sounds good to me. I don't know why. Let me see if I don't. Yeah, it sounds good. No, I just cranked it up on the iPad, and it sounds good to me, bro. I don't know. Might be something with you. I know that there's a little echo on yours in the background. Bill's hair wins. Supreme Court unanimously ruled NCAA violates antitrust laws using amateurism to limit compensation. No cash for now, but yes to education-related items like laptops. Oh, well, we'll see. That whole thing is going to be a mess anyways. I mean, it just, the
NCAA is involved. You know it's going to be a disaster.
And in college basketball, there are no stars anymore, so it really doesn't matter, because there's nobody you want to endorse. Football is the one that still has some. That's the one sport. But in basketball, the stars are going to end up going to the G League because they're going to go for money.
A guy like Mike Krzyzewski is so demoralized that he is retiring because of the situation in college basketball. Yeah. Bottom line.
Yeah. John Ross says, Happy Father's Day. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. And thank you for the super chats. I appreciate you. Let's see. What do we have here? Nico Jones is in the house. Anthony Crappy says, where's the super chat foghorn? LOL. Yes, we haven't connected that. I have to connect it all.
Those emails were sent to the right one. I'm sorry. That's on me, guys.
Hey, listen, what's it called? We've improved the screen. We got guests coming up today. So, little by little, okay, we'll get everything fixed. But right now, This is a much better looking show now on the tube, So let's at least be happy with that. We'll have, by the way, Franco Panizo will be joining us in about 7 minutes. He'll be joining the show, so we'll have a little fun with Franco. Well, we won't have so much fun because it's not going to be fun talking about Saturday night. Saturday night was just absolutely crazy. Matt says Ben Simmons took 3 shots in all of the fourth quarters combined of the entire series. No, I know it's
7 games. That's pathetic.
He has no confidence, man. He has no confidence whatsoever.
That one where he's got the ball and he got position, slam it, and he dishes off. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That was. Hello.
Best thing about it last night was John Collins post game. He's wearing a shirt of him dunking on Embiid in the series a couple games ago. So that was just absolutely classic. When I saw John Collins, I go, man, I wish that he could acquire a kid like that. Because John Collins ain't going anywhere. If I'm Atlanta, you're locking his ass up. But, wow, I saw that, and I was like, oh, man, I love that. So John Collins wearing the shirt. Doc Rivers has got some issues with Ben Simmons. I mean, it's like Ben's going to go to work, and then there's a coach on one side and a psychiatrist on the other. I mean, basically, that's what's going to happen. Oh, and here's the other thing that Ben Simmons needs to get ready for this, okay? What's coming at him next season in the NBA, okay? When we're talking about players and all that stuff, and we're talking about fans that are like, I mean, they're going to go after him in a big-time way. They're going to make fun of him. They're going to have all kinds of props. They're going to have all kinds of jokes. Ben Simmons better be ready for what's coming next season. If he doesn't improve his shot, if he somehow doesn't work on his game, because clearly you don't work enough on your game when you have zero confidence, okay? That is the obvious part of it. He might work a little bit on his game, but he doesn't. For a person that has no game offensively, then you clearly are not working on your game, because you always, when a player is working on something new, they add it and then they confidently display it. He's got a slider now that works. Now he's going to hit you with that slider with a 3-2 count, something he could never do because he never had the confidence to throw it. He might take a chance that first pitch in the count, because if it's a ball, he's still working on it, but he would never whip it out on a 3-2 count, and it as a hitter, and all of a sudden, here comes a slider on a 3-2 count, and you're like, whoa, this guy worked on something new, and his confidence is there to use it in that moment. Ben Simmons doesn't have the confidence to shoot the ball in the fourth quarter, to go to the line in the fourth quarter, to go to the line, period. He doesn't have any damn confidence overall. So that's a major problem, and he's going to become the butt of everybody's joke next year, okay? Because it's already been out there. Now it's like it's a punchline.
Are people going to be after him, like to the level of being after the Astros? Yeah. Just absolutely tear him up from the minute he hits the court.
Yeah,
on him.
It'll be more about a joke and not necessarily about the hatred, because there's pure hatred for the Astros.
It's more of a jab.
Yeah.
Not a jab, not a gut and cut.
Right. Yeah, for the Astros, it's just, we know you bastards cheated, and even if you're the worst, you're the fan base of the worst team in the league, you hate them because they didn't do it the right way.
Compounded on them.
Right.
Them being arrogant,
right.
Them not being, so sorry.
Yeah. Anthony, by the way, tells me it's Croupeasy. Okay. All right. I must have said something else wrong. I think I did say something else. Dougie Fresh is chiming in with a little super chat. Love it. Thank you, Dougie Fresh, for chiming in. He says, Bill, while you were getting your look ready for playing the Unabomber in a Lifetime movie, we all missed you and your talents. There you go. So, there you go, Unabomber. There you go. You can count on.
Look, I got my rock and roll
Fresh.
hair. I'm ready for a concert, man. Where is a concert?
Yeah, you're ready for it. No doubt. Let's see, what else do we have here? And by the way, folks, please make sure you give us a strong like there. Smash that like button because it is very important to smash the like button on the show. It makes it go, baby. It makes it go in a big time way. So please smash the like button. Click and subscribe to the podcast and YouTube channel. Search Big O Radio Show, and you can log on. So I appreciate all of you out there. We're going to be joined by Franco Panizo in about less than 2 minutes. Franco will be joining us here on the show, and we'll talk a little bit about Inter Miami, which on Saturday ended up losing to DC United 1-0. Lost them 1-0. Kamara with the penalty kick. It was an ugly game. It was an ugly game. It was an ugly performance. It was one that lacked discipline in a big-time way with the 2 red cards. Whether you thought they deserved it or they didn't, the fact is those penalties put them at the mercy of the referee. So to me, I didn't have a problem with the call. I understood it. Even the PK, he opened himself up, and athletes are so talented that you think they don't know where the ball is and they can't do that. Oh, he wasn't looking. These guys are so gifted. You can't put it past them that they can try to cheat in a way that you never thought we could do something like that, but they can. Jose Baños, thank you, sir, with a little super chat. Appreciate it. Says, glad to have you back on YouTube. Big O, keep up the good work, my man. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So I appreciate you, Jose. Thank you for chiming in on the super chat. Very nice of you. So it was a game that lacked discipline, and obviously the offense is still not there, man. It's still an ugly situation when you look at that offense, man. Overall, they've got to get their stuff together. So we will be joined now by Franco Panizo, and he's going to join us to talk a little football. Franco, welcome aboard, my brother. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, brother. How are you doing? Good to see you. Haven't seen your face in a bit, but it's good to see you up and running here.
Yeah, man. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you as always. Remember, you can follow Franco on Twitter at Franco Panizo, and also check out Miami Total Football. You can see it on the top. I guess it's your right. If you're looking at the screen, you'll see the logo at the top there. If you want to follow Miami Total Football and catch the podcast, Franco does an excellent job with that. Franco, ugly game on Saturday, my brother. I mean, big time way. Ugly in every way possible. No offense, lack of discipline, questionable decisions also by the coach. I was kind of a little pissed off that Higuain and Jovan Jones came on so late in the game. I would have brought him on at halftime. And I'm not very critical of Neville more often than not, but that one thing. So to me, there were a lot of things that stood out in that game.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a great game from the soccer playing standpoint, but from an effort, commitment, and attitude standpoint, there were improvements. There was progress. And obviously that maybe sounds a little bit simple or basic to say, but that's where Inter Miami has been. Like, they haven't even been putting forth performances that had the attitude, had the commitment, had the effort that you need, right? So that's how low the bar was. So in that sense, Inter Miami, but right from the soccer playing standpoint, it wasn't good. DC United had the better of the chances. DC United bossed the game and dictated the tempo for much of it. But Inter Miami kept itself in the game by just scrapping and trying to keep it tight. And I think that's why Phil Neville didn't make attack-minded changes. I think he wanted to keep the game as close to 0 as possible, and then maybe try to pluck one or get a point out of the game, get a draw. So I think that's why we didn't see it, but also taking into account in the second half that things went really south once Gregory got the second yellow card and was like that.
Oh yeah, that was ugly there. What'd you think of those two calls? Because some people thought it was a little overboard. For me, I just kind of I kind of put it this way. If you want to call it borderline fine, but you put yourself in the position to be at the mercy of the referee, so don't commit that dumb foul, and you won't be at the mercy of the referee, and you end up losing at the mercy of the referee.
Yeah. So on that one, I agree with that fully. I also think that it shouldn't have been. Excuse me. Shouldn't have been a second yellow, in my opinion. You know, if I was a referee and I saw that foul, I would give him one last warning. Hey, one more of those and you're gone. Because I don't think it was all that egregious. I don't think it was that rough of a tackle. Now the second red card and the penalty kick, I'm in full agreement with the referee there. I think he made the right decision. I know a lot of InterMiami fans are saying for the penalty kick that it's a natural movement when your arms come out when you're jumping, but normally your arms don't come out all the way out. So that made Christian McCoon's profile bigger. It made his person bigger. So that's a handball. Unfortunate because he turned around and wasn't even looking at the ball, but the ball hits his hand, and that's a penalty kick any day of the week.
The funny part is that a lot of people were saying, "Well, his back was turned. How does he know?" See, the thing is, they're athletes, bro. Yeah. They're at another level where you and I can't do that, but these guys are so gifted that they could cheat and not make it look like they're not trying to cheat. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, they are capable of doing that with their backs turned and knowing where the ball is because these guys live this, man. You know what I'm saying? So I understood the referee calling the penalty kick there. I did.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, Christian McCoon looked like your image right here in the bottom corner. That's how far his arms were turned out, and the handball was called. So, and then for Ryan Shawcross, clear red card for me. I know there was a lot of debates by some Miami fans on the podcast as well as whether it's a red card or not, but that's a straight red. When I saw it live, I thought he went in with a little extra. I was like, okay, that's an automatic yellow. And then when I saw the replay of how he brought the player down, that's a straight red. And he didn't even argue it. He didn't even put up a fight. When the red card was shown, he just walked off. He knew what he did. It was violent conduct. And he had shown signs of frustration. When I rewatched the game, he had shown signs of frustration on 2 other occasions before that. So Ryan Shawcross just had a rush of blood to his head, did something stupid, and then gets himself sent off. And Phil Neville said after the game they're going to try to appeal that red card, but I don't think that'll get overturned.
We're talking with Franco Panizo, of course, from Miami Total Football. Make sure you follow the podcast. Follow them on Twitter at MIA Total Football, and check out the podcast. He does a great job of covering Inter Miami and SBI soccer. Also, by the way, covering Inter Miami. Let's get a little bit into some of the decisions. What I told you earlier, I didn't like that Higuain and Jovan Jones came in so late. I thought the game was practically decided at that point. I thought you're off for 3 weeks. It's not like Higuain needed the rest or anything like that. He should be fresh. What did you think about that substitution? Should that have happened earlier in the game? So
I've been pretty critical of Phil Neville. I think I've probably been maybe the most critical person of Phil Neville here in the South Florida media. In this one, I would say no, because of how the game unfolded. Now, again, you could agree or disagree with his approach to trying to be a little bit more pragmatic, a little, simplifying strategy and attack.
Well, he can't score, so I get that. I get that. They can't score, so try to keep the game close and tight. I totally understand that.
And look, going before I answer your question a little more directly, taking a step back, something I've said in my analysis video, Miami Total Football's YouTube page, something that will be coming out later today in my analysis piece, is that Phil Neville very clearly simplified tactics and changed things from what we saw before the break. On every goal kick, John McCarthy, the goalkeeper, would kick the ball long. They would never try to build out of the back, pass short. They didn't try to do that at all because they know that other teams are high pressing them, winning the ball in bad spots, and then turning that into chances and goal scoring opportunities. So every single time in this game, John McCarthy kicked far. And I think maybe besides 2, look for Breck Shea because Breck Shea's height and he can win the ball in the air. The idea was to have Brett Shea flick on balls or knock on balls, and then have players try to win the second balls, what they call the second ball. So, and then try to build play through the midfield and then forward. But they didn't want to have the risk of trying to build out of the back and losing the ball there. So Phil Neville tried to simplify things and keep this game as tight as possible. Didn't want an open game. Didn't want mistakes at the back. So I think he wanted to keep it as a little more defensive minded for as long as possible. Then Gregory gets sent off. So then that influenced things, and then from that point forward, it's about trying to survive, not trying to necessarily find a way to win. So defensive minded on his part for sure, but then also how the game unfolded also impacts his decision making and his ability to maybe put in an attacking minded player like Federico Higuaín to try to help create things.
Well, speaking of Higuaín, all right, let's talk a little bit about Higuaín. Fitness was an issue. Apparently, he took a couple of days off. They didn't think he was in the kind of shape. I find it a little disturbing when you're off for 3 weeks that you didn't train enough and you weren't ready for this game, and you're the star of this team. That's kind of odd, dude.
Yeah, I don't buy that. I don't buy that. Now, look, let's take into account that the Higuaín brothers did lose their mother earlier this year. So that could be impacting him mentally and maybe why he took some days off from training over the last 3 weeks. But we don't know. We don't know. We were just told that Gonzalo Higuaín missed some training sessions over the last few weeks.
Well, Federico didn't.
Right, Federico did. From what we know, Federico did not, and he was with the team this weekend. But however, I'm with you. I don't buy what this is. It doesn't pass the sniff test to me. Because even if he missed a week and a half of training, even if he's not at full fitness, he can still give you 5, 10, 15 minutes off the bench. And you have him travel and at least have the option, right? Because if the game's calling for you to get a goal scored in the last 10, 15 minutes, you have the option to at least be like, hey, I can get him on the field and try to make things happen. So for him not to be on the roster, on a team that didn't even fill out a full bench, they still had some spots available on their bench. They didn't fill out a full bench. For them not to take it, that's a clear message, in my opinion. That's a clear message to Gonzalo Higuaín. I think that's a clear message to the team. Like, hey, you need to put in the effort. You need to be team first. You need to have a better attitude because that's what this team needs at this time. And we can argue about Gonzalo Higuaín's quality and his performance this season because statistically he has shown that he's done a decent job. But if you look at the game and the performances in those games on a game-by-game basis, then it hasn't been good enough. He's obviously been starved of service, which has led to some frustration on his part. But this team, given all the flaws it has, all the deficiencies it has, it needs someone that's going to have a better attitude and put in more of an effort up top. Like we saw from Julian Carranza this weekend. Maybe doesn't have the best quality in the final third, nowhere near as Gonzalo Higuaín, but younger, fresher, able to press defenders and do different things that you need to see more of from Gonzalo Higuaín. But Gonzalo Higuaín's at a later stage in his career, so it's going to be interesting how this story develops and unfolds because Gonzalo Higuaín is also what he is. Maybe he can improve the attitude, maybe he can improve effort slightly. But at the end of the day, he's still not the most energetic player. He's not going to be able to chase defenders for 90 minutes. So very curious to see how Phil Neville handles this over the next couple of weeks.
All right, so let me ask you, by the way, do you have your YouTube on? Because it might give an echo. Do you have your YouTube on? No, right? You don't have it on anywhere, another screen? No, right?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I don't have my YouTube on.
Okay. All right, because I don't know.
Yeah, I hear the echo too. Maybe it's the headphones. I don't know.
So anyway, what was I going to tell you? The only thing that I'm torn with Higuaín and attitude and all that kind of stuff is he's always willing to set up his teammates. He drops back even more to try to help the midfield out because he has no midfield help to set him up. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of torn with Higuaín. We want more from him, but there isn't that other person to help him excel, to help him star. You know what I'm saying? So then, and he's a team player in a way because he's always willing to set up somebody else, or he's willing to drop back to help out and trying to create whatever he can when he's on the pitch. So I'm wondering what the hell's going on behind the scenes. Is there a disagreement in how things are being handled? Is he unhappy with certain players? Is he unhappy with the team? I don't know, because on the pitch, I can't necessarily say that he's not trying his best to help the team out in any way he can.
So I would say that there's a lot of things to go into there, and I don't know how much time we have here, but I'll try to keep them succinct. And I hear the echo still, so I don't know where it's coming from. Gonzalo Higuaín has not shown the best attitude at times. You see him walking around a lot, but his quality is evident when he have the ball. Very evident. However, on this team, given its flaws, you need your forward to do more than just be good on the ball or in the things. You need a guy that's going to sacrifice and put in the dirty running, the dirty work, which Gonzalo Higuaín does not do enough of. Now, if this team was a better team, a much better team, that maybe didn't need its striker to do that, those type of things, or do those type of things as much, then maybe Gonzalo Higuaín would be thriving and everyone would be in love with Gonzalo Higuaín, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But this is a team that has a lot of flaws, that needs to have more about the effort and the fight and the tactics. So that's where Gonzalo Higuaín, he has shown good things. He has shown things where he wants to drop and try to find the ball and get a ball. But he's also shown some negative things, which I think Phil Neville probably had enough of them. Like, hey, we need to change things up a little bit here. It's a big call. Because, like I said, he's a star player, one of the 14 captains. One of the highest paid players in Major League Soccer. A brother to one of the players in that locker room. So it's very interesting how the dynamic will be in the locker room. At this point, and look, there's something that hasn't been said, and I'll say it here because it's starting to make its way out. Is that Gonzalo Higuaín, they say fitness, but it might be because he's not in the best physical condition. He might be a little bit overweight, and that can sound harsh, but professional athletes are based on their physical qualities, right? So how in shape they are. They get measured before the season starts for weight and body fat composition and et cetera, et cetera. So, there are moments when this happens all over the world where players don't take as well care of themselves as they should for being a professional athlete, and they end up being overweight. Now, that doesn't mean that 20 pounds overweight, but they could be 5 pounds overweight or whatever. And for a soccer player, that makes a big difference because you're out there running. So you have. If you have more weight, it slows down and slows the movements, and obviously that's not more in soccer. You have to make decisions quicker and be faster. So, I think there is an element to that as well. It's definitely starting to make the rounds behind the scenes.
All right, one more before I let you go. Franco Panizo, Miami Total Football. Pizarro, what the hell is going on with Pizarro? What's your theory behind it all? Because I know they talk about the injury and all of that, but it almost looked like he fell out of favor, and that's part one. Part two of it, what happens this offseason? Do they just can they just eat the salary and cut his ass and go get another DP? Because it's going to be hard to trade him and somebody take on that salary. I don't know the MLS rules. Can they trade him where somebody only takes a portion of his salary and Miami still has to pay a portion of that salary? How does all that work out? Can they simply just cut him outright and still get another DP next year to replace him?
So I think he's as good as gone. I think his days are numbered. I think maybe we'll see him again for a few minutes here and there, but I think he's as good as gone if someone wants to buy him, whether that's in Mexico, probably will be in Mexico because it's probably the only market right now that he has any demand in. But he's falling out of favor. Phil Neville is not a coach that brought him in. He'll probably try to give him a chance, didn't like what he saw, and said this player is not for me. And I think Rodolfo Pizarro's days are pretty much done. We haven't been able to hear from him for several weeks, maybe months now, so we don't know what his point of view is or what his side of the story. We just hear that he's injured, which I wouldn't be surprised if magically he's healthy enough to start playing in the CONCACAF Gold Cup with Mexico next month. If he just coincidentally heals and is able to play in that, because there's words and then there's actions, and there was already signs of Rodolfo Pizarro not being in favor with the level before this whole injury thing happened. He got benched in that Nashville game, came on late as a substitute, had a shot saved, and then the level, the cameras caught him with a pretty irate question. So I think he's just out of favor. I think not a player that InterMiami leadership rates, and they want him on. So, and to answer your second question quickly, if they can't sell him, if no one wants to pay the fee that they want, they would have to wait until next year offseason. They could do a similar thing like they did with Matias Pellegrini this year, and that they could buy out his contract, and then he'll be free, and that frees up a TV spot. But obviously, they still have to pay him the large remainder of the contract unless they negotiate something else.
It's gonna be ugly, man. They gotta resolve that issue. There's no doubt about that. Franco Panizo, make sure you follow him on Twitter at Franco Panizo, and check it out at Miami Total Football on Twitter, and check out the podcast, and of course catch his work also at SBI Soccer. Franco, as always, my brother, thank you for taking some time, man. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on, brother. I'll work on that echo thing. I don't know where it's coming from.
I think it's the room. I think the room you have has a lot of echo.
Okay, I'll figure it out. Thanks, brother.
You got it. All right, my brother. Thank you. There you go. What were you going to say there? Were you going to say something?
I haven't talked to Franco in a while. I want to say hi.
Oh,
hey,
okay.
see you later. Go to hell. Whatever, man. Thanks. I'm so glad to be a part of this.
Yeah.
No, wait.
Give me
Let me try something.
What's that?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we do hear you.
You can hear me? You can hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
How about if I do that? It's still.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah. Yeah. Let's not do this on
No,
the air.
I'm trying.
All right, let's do this. We're going to take a quick 2-minute break here. Give us 2 minutes, and we'll be right back.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
All righty, we are back. We thank Franco Panizo for joining us here on the show. Appreciate all of you out there. I think it was the room he was in, had it bouncing all over the place. We'll be able to notice when we get Alan Poupar on at 12:30, and we'll talk a little Miami Dolphins with him, and we'll see where his
Until you soundproof your room, go in the closet.
Yeah.
Get in the closet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm with you there. Soundproofing always helps. for your room. I'm telling you, as a guy with a little bit of experience when it comes to soundproofing. Charles Cooper was like, cut him loose on the thing. Doing the interview, relax, bro. I gotta, do the. And if you're watching on video, even though there was a little bit of echo, you could understand everything he's saying because you're watching his mouth. So I know for the podcast people, it's going to be a pain in the ass. But for those of you that were on YouTube, you were at least watching it and understanding it. Tremolio says, when you see a soccer team constantly passing back from the midfield instead of pushing forward, you have a sissy coach that wants to play D only. It's best to attack and lose by 7 points rather than zeros. Tremolio, the problem is they can't score, dude. So, and their defense has been inconsistent. So if you're too aggressive and then you get caught on the counter and you start giving up goals, then there's no way of you catching up because you're not a good team offensively. Neville's in a really difficult position. He doesn't have a very good offensive team. He doesn't have a very good defensive team. He doesn't have a very good goalie. So, and then his stars aren't necessarily really stars. Like Matuidi's not. Matuidi has no business being a DP at all. Neither does Pizarro. So, 2 of your 3 DP spots are guys that don't deserve to be DPs. So, and this is not Neville's fault. This is crap that he inherited. This is all mistakes that were made by the prior GM. And this is just the situation that he's in. So I actually, while I disagreed with his substitution of Federico and Jovan Jones later in that second half, he should have done it early in the second half. I do agree with him playing conservative, Tremolio, because of all the limitations he has to play a 1-goal game because that's his only chance of winning is by winning by 1 goal. You know what I mean? So that's, to me, is kind of the deal. Tell the dude to mute his YouTube because there's an echo. No, there was no echo because of that, Kelvin. But we tried to. I think it was all his room. I think he was just in a room that didn't have any carpet and didn't have anything and all that. We're in a room where it's completely padded, roof and I padded my roof on this studio. Nobody pads the roof. Nobody pads the roof. You can go to studio after studio. Nobody pads the roof. Okay? I padded the roof and everything. Yes.
The padding is so good. You barely have enough space to turn on the light fixture.
Right. Well,
okay, the light fixture's even
yes,
padded.
Yes, it is, of course.
But I mean, he didn't even have curtains on the windows. They were blinds. I mean, that total echo.
Yeah, exactly. He had echo. I think it was just a room.
Probably got some nice tile or wood floor to let's make the sound bounce around.
Basically. Charles Cooper says, I'm trying to talk myself into buying a Mary Kay inspired InterMiamiFC Miami kit.
That's awesome.
Mary Kay. Well, why don't you get it? Isn't the Avon lady also?
No, but you got to remember the pink. It's the tone of the pink.
The pink is Mary Kay?
The Mary Kay car.
Okay.
Remember 70s show?
Right.
What's her name? What's his name? Sister? Red Sister?
Yeah.
She had the Mary Kay car.
Yep. Well, Sean says he can barely hear me. I don't know. Let me see. I don't know if.
You sound good.
Yeah. No, Sean, I just cranked up the iPad and it sounds fine. I'm not sure what your deal is, but
is that our Sean?
Sean Campbell.
Okay.
Another Sean.
Okay.
Another Sean.
Mini Sean.
That's been very supportive of our show over the years. Brooklyn Rob says Forza Italia 2020. He's throwing in. Antonio Matos says, let's go Islanders.
Speaking of Islanders, talked to Mike on the way over today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he got back from Iraq or Iran. I can't remember. I saw it on Facebook. I think you saw it, that he was out there. He just got back. Yeah, exactly. Guy's got some huge cojones, brother. Yeah. And the fact that he's not a judo or a black belt or something, just
that ain't gonna help.
A regular guy. Hey,
they got guns. That ain't gonna help. That's like the scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark. The guy,
oh, and he pulls out the gun. Yeah, the swords.
Just shoots him, and that's it. Done.
But yeah, he said he's probably going to be pulling out that video in about a month So we'll probably have him on, before he
Yeah, we'll get him
does
on.
the thing. But yeah, man.
We'll definitely
Back in town.
definitely get Mikey on to talk a little bit about that. It's always interesting his conversations with all of that. All right, so we did a little Inter-Miami talking a little bit about the team. Unfortunately, they take on Orlando on Friday over at Drive Pink Stadium. Let's see if they can get back on track somehow, some way. Last year, in a way, they're starting to look like they might have been even better last year than they were this year. That's how bad it is at this point. Oh, I'm wearing earphones and can only hear you on the right side. Left is dead. Bro, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I have no idea what to tell you. I haven't messed with anything when it comes to the sound or anything like that. So I have no idea if there's anything going on. Okay? I can't even tell you, Ming. Okay? So.
That works better.
What? What works better? What works better?
I got.
Well, you weren't hearing me before either?
No, it's only on the left side.
So now you were hearing me on both?
You're in stereo.
Okay. I don't know. You guys tell me if that works right there. If I was.
You know what? Somebody mentioning it, the StreamYard got a little excited and got
Yeah, I have no idea if that's the case. If it changed, tell me, because I did click something for the hell of it. That was better. Whatever he did. Yeah, I clicked something there for it, and it says there we go, better. Okay, all right, there we go, much better. Everything's coming in. That's fixed it. There we go. Now it's working on both sides. Oh, thanks. Okay, all right. So there we go. These are the little things that I guess I don't know why, because I didn't have to hit that last time, but whatever. I guess I'll look into it next time to make sure, because I was not told anything about that to hit that, but I did take out something called echo cancellation. Bravo, woohoo! There's a little better. Okay, everybody. I guess everybody's happy now with it. Okay, all right. Now we know. All right. Good stuff. All right. Remember, you can reach out to us on Twitter at Big O Show. You can follow us also on YouTube and chat in on YouTube, or of course the YouTube chat board is also another one. Do you have something up there? Is there volume up or something?
No,
because I keep hearing myself.
And actually, the delay, I got it in stereo on my headphones. Like, you're astounding in this capacity. Feel free to hit on any buttons. Seriously, because it's awesome.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm hearing myself back from somewhere. Yeah, somewhere. There's somewhere out there I am hearing myself. I don't know why, but I am hearing myself. And I don't know why, but something's on. One of your laptops is on or something, because I know none of the computers here are on. At least I don't hear it.
Nothing's on.
All right. It's weird. It's weird because I'm hearing something in the background. Big O, I think Ben Simmons needs to be trained by D. Wade to gain that killer instinct and score points to close out games. I don't know. I am. See, this is bothering me now. Now I'm hearing an echo. I'm hearing something back. Yeah. Now, let me see. Am I still hearing it? And I think I probably don't sound as good, right, guys? Is that what it is? Does it sound better now? How about, I guess now it comes back? Oh, Jesus. I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Is that better?
I don't know what's going on. Let me see. Oh,
is it better?
Okay. Oh, that's what it is. It's your headphones. It's your headphones. I'm hearing your headphones is what it is. That's what it is. Because when I crank up your headphones, exactly. Yeah. When I crank up your mic, I hear your headphones through the mic. That's what it is.
Oh, it's the cheapy headphones.
Yeah, that's what it is. I'm listening.
Okay.
I'm listening. That's what it is. Now I figured out what the hell that is. Big O turns 62 Saturday. 3 more years, then I can come to work for you. Nice. I love it, GP Trap. Let's do it. Is there a plus minus feature that hasn't been hit? No, no, we figured it out now. It's his headsets going in, because the headsets he has doesn't really cup and seal. So then the sound is coming through the mic. And so I'm hearing it.
We will correct that problem tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Sorry.
Yes. The volume went down. Now it's back up again. Yeah. It's I already figured out what the hell is going on now. Much clearer and louder now. Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate you all out there. Thank you very much. All right. So we covered a little Inter. We talked a little playoffs. Although congratulations to the Suns, man. Start off that series against the Clippers 1-0. And this has been kind of an interesting playoffs because the Lakers lose AD and they can't advance, but the Clippers lose Kawhi and they advance. And the Clippers obviously played their asses off, and now they end up taking on the Suns, and the Suns are playing without CP3, and somehow or another they find a way to win 120-114. Booker was freaking amazing, 40 points last night. Ayton added 20. Crowder added 13 points, 3 of 7 from three-point range. So Suns now are winning 1-0 in this series. James Jones, former, is it American High, University of Miami and Miami Heat player? Is it American High? I forgot now, or I got to look it up now where James Jones is from. Is it Edison or is it American High? I forgot what it was. But anyway, local young man ends up becoming the NBA Executive of the Year yesterday because of his job with the Suns, which is absolutely amazing. Were you going to say something?
You know what? Ever since the 8-0 run last year in the bubble, man, you could see Phoenix has been coming.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt. Did you say bubble or bubble?
So they were in the bubble.
Okay, all right.
I'm sorry. That's that echo.
No, that was no echo. That was a complete
no, but I'm saying
on your part.
The way when I'm talking, it's hard because of the disparity between what I hear and what I'm saying.
Okay, I got you. So Booker kicks ass. James Jones kicks ass. And then I start thinking about the Heat, right? Tell me there's not a Heat fan thinking Justice Winslow, Devin Booker, all of that. And early on when they first drafted Winslow, I would defend the pick because Winslow was actually the better all-around player. Devin was just a scorer at that time, and he was a volume shooter too at that time, so it wasn't nearly as efficient. I got to give Devin Booker a ton of credit. He has turned into a great shooter, an efficient shooter, but he's also turned into a team player, a guy that is rebounding, playing defense, assisting, making others better. And what I thought Winslow had early in the first year or two of this whole discussion was that Winslow at least could play the D, help handle the offense, run it, and all that kind of stuff. But he would have to work on his offense. And if he could get his offense to that point, then he could become a more complete player. Well, Winslow obviously way too injured, never fixed the offense, and Devin Booker just really developed into a complete player. And not just a scorer, not just a beast on the offensive end, but just a complete player and a leader for the team. So he's developed in all those other areas. And obviously yesterday it shined, with all these young cats on this team. It's impressive what's gone on with the Suns, man. And the addition of CP3, the addition of Jay Crowder, adding that veteran defense. Crowder was 3 of 7, I think? 3 of 7 from three-point range, added 6 rebounds with the 13 points. So it's Jones has done a nice job of bringing the right veterans in to complement these young guys. And then on the flip side, Devin Booker has just grown into an absolute star. And for us in the Heat Nation, think about the difference in this franchise if you have Devin Booker now. Okay? Everything's completely different. You may not have the same players on this team and all that because Booker changes you. But if you think about the Heat possibly having Devin Booker instead of Justice Winslow, that would be absolute American High. Okay. That would be absolutely awesome. I don't know if Miami wins anymore. I don't know what happens from that point, from when they drafted him till now. But you think about the last 7 years, right? Since the last title, all right? You look at a lot of mistakes made. Danny Granger and what was the other one that they signed for damn it, what was it? Can you turn that down? What's it called? Turn that down, man. What's it called? You was it Granger and who was the other guy that they signed? Damn it. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Oh, it was the guy that played for the Lakers, the big goofus. That was a good passer. Actually, he was actually a decent player, but he never it like never materialized here. It was really weird. He was like a glue guy. What's his name now? Now I'm forgetting his name, but I remember the guy played for the Lakers. Anyway, so they signed those two guys. It didn't work out, and then you start to look at all the other mistakes: the Whiteside, the James Johnson, the Tyler Johnson, all those mistakes too. Okay. There's been a lot of setbacks over the last couple of years here with this team. And you're now at the brink of what do you do next? Do you extend Jimmy Butler, which I think would be a mistake? There's you think about all those things that have gone on over choosing Whiteside over Wade. There's been a lot of mistakes over the last 6-7 years. What is it, 2013? 7-8 years now since that championship. It's been rough. And one of them is definitely choosing Justice Winslow over Devin Booker. That one really hurt in a big-time way for the Miami Heat. Lisa says, this is my son's year. Dodgers ended my 31-year painful wait, and it will be this year for our Finns, too. A three-peat will be amazing. Real fans stick with their teams no matter what. You are correct, Lisa, and you are loyal. I know you are loyal to your Dolphins, and obviously I know you were enjoying the Dodgers last year. And the Sun. Hey, listen, what's the cool thing is, we got a few teams now in the finals that have never, or in the conference finals that have never won it, man, and that's cool. The Hawks have never really won a title. That would be nice if they can advance to win a title. That'd be pretty damn cool overall. So yeah, I mean, you look at the Suns. That's the Clippers. These are teams that have never won the title. It's actually really cool. Milwaukee won the title years ago, obviously with Oscar Robertson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar back in the day. But I mean, we're talking early 70s when that happened. But the other three teams have never won a title. Hell, for Milwaukee fans, it's a couple of generations that haven't experienced a title. So for them, it's kind of been forever also. It's kind of the last time they won a title, it's similar to the Miami Dolphin fans, because it was the early 70s also when they won the title. That's going to be the cool part about it. And the Suns have a shot, Clippers have a shot, and obviously the Hawks have a shot. And it's going to be cool. Let's see what happens when it's all said and done this year. But that's nice that we don't have all the traditional powers normally in the playoffs and deciding who's going to win the title. This year, there's going to be a fan base that has never enjoyed a title, and that's pretty cool. All right, you can reach out to us, remember, on Twitter at Big O Show. Follow us on YouTube at Big O Radio Show. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button. We need you to hit that like button in a big time way. Where are we at with the like button? How many likes do we have right now? We need more than that, bro. We need more than that. Let's go. Let's pick it up. Por favor. We need that like button hit in a big time way. Chime in on the YouTube chat board, on the super chat, many different ways to reach out to us on the program. What else do we have going on in all of this. Oh, basketball-wise, did you guys see Nina Westbrook is the wife of Russell Westbrook? So now, all of a sudden, LeBron James and Anthony Davis started following Nina Westbrook. So is Russell getting traded over to the Lakers from the Wizards? Is that what's going to happen? It's kind of odd that LeBron and AD will all of a sudden would start following Nina Westbrook on Twitter. That's kind of funky. You know what I'm saying? I saw that story and I was like, whoa. So Russell Westbrook going to play with LeBron and AD? Interesting. So that's the talk in Los Angeles right now. And Kyle Kuzma unfollowed the Lakers and he took them off his profile. So is this already brewing? I mean, the NBA is the one league that has more what's that word? Oh God, when you're not supposed to talk to a player and you're on another team, or you shouldn't be trying. What's that called, man? Oh, somebody help me out with that damn word that I'm brain farting. Damn it. Collusion, right? I think it is. Is it collusion or not collusion? It's not collusion. It's damn it. Now I'm forgetting what it is. Somebody will give me the damn word that I'm forgetting at this point in time. But anyway, so you know that there. Now I said collusion, but I don't think it's collusion. Collusion is different. It's tampering. There you go. Caffrey Gold. Thank you. Tampering. There's more tampering in the NBA than in any sport out there. So think about this. If Kuzma already unfollowed the Lakers, took him off the profile, Nina Westbrook is getting followed by LeBron and AD already. So did they already agree on a contract? On a trade already? Like Kuzma and Westbrook already know what's going to happen? I mean, Kemba Walker just got traded, right? So you figure, okay, so something's going on here. So are the Lakers, I don't know their trade situation. I don't know what kind of picks they have, if they have any first-round picks available, but I would imagine that they're going to be trading Kuzma and a first-round pick for Westbrook or something, or maybe not. You know, maybe now that I think about it, maybe Washington wants to get rid of the salary period, and they need the salary cap space. So they're willing to unload, and maybe they'll take Kuzma. But then again, they still have to give up something in salary to make up for Westbrook. So they're going to have to give up something in return. I don't know what players they're going to give up, but they're going to have to give up something like that. Sounds like he needs to buy some new headphones. Yeah. No, he just needs to bring his old ones in. That's all. Those are backups. Let's see. Tampering. Everybody came in through tampering. Thank you. So it looks like Westbrook already knows where he's going, and Kuzma knows where he's going. The NBA, dude, there's no league like it. And once the NBA finals are done, the most interesting part of the NBA season happens, the offseason. That's the most interesting part. That's the one everybody loves to follow, is the drama of the offseason. I love it. All right. Don't forget, you can reach out to us on Twitter. So if you got any questions, you can send them in on Twitter. You can send them in on the YouTube chat board. You can also reach out to us with a little super chat action, which is always good, always appreciated. Thank you so much. And thanks to all of you out there looking out for the sound and fixing the sound and helping me fix the sound. I had no idea even that I fixed it, by the way. I got lucky. Completely, I got to tell you, completely lucky. Because over the weekend, we got this all fixed. Well, we did it on Friday going into Saturday. But Sean came over to kind of help us put all this stuff together so we can make the show look a little better. We can have guests. I told you I wanted to get everything through the board, so we're able to do all of that. So that's been really cool. But technically, I'm not that guy. I depend on Bill. I depend on Sean. I depend on the folks that actually work that kind of stuff. I got enough crap going on in my life that I'm going to have to learn all the technical stuff, too, is a pain in the ass. Raging Dolphin Maniac says, sometimes it's better be lucky than good. I agree. Lisa says, I agree with you. Oh, even if the Suns don't make it, I'm all down for any of the other teams since they have not won in a long time. Exactly. That's the cool part of this year's NBA. That, there's going to be a fan base that hasn't ever won one or going to win one for the first time ever. And that's super, super cool overall. I mean, the only thing better is that the Heat are winning the title. But, hey, let's allow the Suns and the Clippers and the Hawks and the Bucks to get one at least. You know what I'm saying? Miguel Garcia says, hi, Big O, following your channel from Kissimmee. Thank you, Miguel. Appreciate you reaching out from Kissimmee, Florida. Herman Cuevas says, glad to see Bill back and not Cosby. There you go. Cosby's in jail somewhere. Yep, he's looking for some special treatment. How that guy ended up being what he is baffling to me. I would have never, ever, ever, ever thought that America's dad would end up being the predator that he was, dude. That is just so screwed up. I can't believe it. I really can't. All right, what else do we have? Fans, by the way, will not have to be vaccinated to attend Bills games. I think that's to accommodate Cole Beasley's family. And listen, not to get too political, but I almost feel like, and I know I'm going to penalize some of you out there for this, but I feel like you shouldn't be able to go to games or a concert if you're not vaccinated. Unless you have a medical condition that doesn't allow you to get vaccinated, then that's understandable. Outside of that, I think we all should be vaccinated. That way we don't put anybody at risk that much anymore, which is a beautiful thing. But I get it. Cole Beasley doesn't want to get vaccinated, doesn't believe in it, even though we've been vaccinating people for the measles or for polio or for the flu year in and year out. What's the difference? Too funny. But I found it hilarious that after Cole Beasley's stupid ass remarks, the Bills come out with, well, now, we're not going to require people to be vaccinated now to come on over. The good thing is enough of us have vaccinated to allow everyone else to enjoy their lives again. So that's why we're getting back to normal, because those of us that wanted to vaccinate, we are helping. Those of you that didn't vaccinate, well, of course, you're contributing to the problem. You're not really helping, to be honest with you. Sorry if you can't handle the tooth, but it is what it is. Keno Smith says, hi from Nassau. Love it. Another one of our listeners from the Bahamas. It's a beautiful thing. Cosby is in the prison sugar shack with Bubba. Now, if you're vaccinated, why are you at risk if someone else isn't? But if you're vaccinated, why are you at risk if someone else isn't? Well, you're at risk because you can still catch it and then carry it and give it to somebody else. Even though you're not going to get hospitalized, even though you're not going to die, which is the beauty of being vaccinated, that you're not going to end up in the hospital or on a ventilator. But if you catch it, you still could be a carrier. And then what if you accidentally give it to somebody that hasn't been vaccinated? That's the thing. So what we got to try to do is get everybody vaccinated, so that way almost nobody is carrying it and nobody has it. That's the beauty. But as long as we have people that are carrying it, then it's still going to float around and it's still going to put certain people at risk. And those that have chosen not to be vaccinated, if they happen to catch it, they might end up dead in a hospital or could be severely sick. One of the three. Hopefully it's the latter. Hopefully they just get sick and they're able to recover. But The first two are the scary ones. That's why you vaccinate. So, yes. Okay. That's it. What's up, Big O? Will Derek Jeter fire Don if the team does not improve? Do you think a change will improve the team like in 03? No, Isais, no. It's not. This team is what it is. They're young. They don't have enough right now. I can't blame. I'm not the biggest Don Mattingly fan anyways, okay? Loved him as a player, respected the crap out of him, because to me, he was like Derek Jeter before Derek Jeter. You know, he was like that guy that did everything the right way. You know what I mean? He was just a winner. Unfortunately, he played in an era where Yankee baseball wasn't winning championships. They actually started right after he retired, which was the screwed up part. You know what I mean?
One playoff appearance,
Yeah,
95, the first when they lost to Seattle with Ken Griffey Jr. running out of the baseline in first base.
Yeah.
But you know what, Mattingly, highest lifetime fielding percentage as a defensive player, all time.
Right.
I mean, just. But I'm with you.
Hell of a player.
You know what? Him as being a Yankee fan, obviously, when he bitched about not getting the manager's job for the Yankees and he pitched a fit, I lost all respect for Mattingly right there. It was like, man, you were great as a player, but as a manager, man, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's not.
We got a chance to bring Joe
the
Girardi.
Dodgers underachieved.
We had a
under
chance
him.
to bring a guy that was the manager of the year for the Marlins, Joe Girardi, in.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for Willie Randolph going and getting grabbed by the Mets, Willie Randolph would have been the coach. And Mattingly's like thinking he's going to supersede those guys. Like, come on, man. Who do you think you are? I get you're Don Mattingly, but, bro, you've done nothing.
Jose Banos, by the way, thank you, sir. Second super chat of the day. Let those guys like up, guys. Let's get those likes up, guys. Let's go.
Thank you,
Even
brother.
put a super chat in there to get those likes up. Let's go. Smash the like button. We need you to smash the like button. All right. But anyway, going back to, I don't think a change is necessary at this point in time. And again, I'm not a Mattingly guy. I don't think he's a great manager by any stretch whatsoever. I don't care what happened last year that they snuck into the playoffs. That's just a fluky thing. That doesn't mean anything to me.
The playoffs were expanded.
Yeah,
that's why we got in.
Yeah,
kind of like the Panthers getting in. It's the same thing.
That was a play-in game. The Panthers didn't even make the playoffs. Kind of like InterMiami last year. It was a play-in game that you got into, not really
But you were only
playoffs.
given that. It wasn't the typical, structure.
No.
It wasn't 5. It was expanded out.
No. So, again, Jose Banos, thank you, sir, for sending in the super chat. I saw Mattingly coach out here in L.A. Horrible. When Marlins signed him, I got sad. Yeah, no, it's just he's now. Wait a minute. Now, here's the thing, Tremolio, and for all of Isais also. Okay, I think Jeter kept Mattingly around because Mattingly is the guy you keep around just for the purposes of what's it called, the first stage. It's kind of like an expansion coach. You have him there because he's the guy you use for the expansion years. And then when your team gets good enough, you go get a better coach that has playoff experience and all that good stuff. Because usually the good coaches, they don't want to go through the expansion years. So that's kind of what the Marlins are right now. They're kind of an expansion team. So I think Mattingly is the guy he's using to buffer through these years. And then once everything is built up and you can go get the players, I think they'll go get another manager. That's just me. Okay?
That he's just a stopgap? Is that what you're thinking? Yeah.
Yes. He's Kevin Lockery before you.
You're going to hold down the fort at this point, but when we get serious, here's the door. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, he's Renee Latchman, and then you go get Jim Leland. It's one of those kind of deals.
Yeah.
That's the way.
I think you're 100% on the mark with that.
That's the way I look at it, So I think that making that change at manager is not going to help. Now, remember when you said, in 03, don't forget that part of that change came with Cabrera being called up and the D train being called up at the same time. So all of a sudden you got the injection of putting in the new manager, okay, which to me, whatever. He was fun and Mr. Cigar and all that stuff. I still don't think he's a great manager by any stretch. I think he was a great character. And I think everything kind of fell into place with him. But he never was a great manager at any point, any time, even after he came back. You know what I mean? So to me, it just, he was fun and all that. But to me, the old man was nothing special. It was just one of those deals that the cool thing was that you ended up calling up Miguel Cabrera and D-Train, and D-Train went on this incredible role, and then Miguel Cabrera became a young superstar. But I don't think you're going to get anywhere when it's all said and done with what's it called? With the change at manager. I really don't. I don't think that's going to help you at all. Let's see, what else do we have here going on? We're going to be by Alan Pupar. We're going to talk a little Dolphins. All right, so this is what we'll do. Give us 2 minutes, and in 2 minutes, we will talk Miami Dolphins.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
Howdy, welcome back. It is time to talk a little Dolphins football. Alan Pupar does an excellent job covering the Miami Dolphins for SI. You can follow him on Twitter at Pupar NFL. Kind enough to join us now on the program. Alan, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, Big O. How are you?
Very good. Now I'm having trouble. Now I'm not hearing a damn thing. Hold on. What's going on here? Can you hear me? I know you hear me.
Yep, perfectly fine.
You hear me, right? Okay.
Can you hear me?
Say something. Okay.
Something.
I don't hear a damn thing now.
Turn up the mic.
Now, I don't know what happened now with my sound because I don't hear a damn thing at all. This is crazy. Okay. I don't know what happened now. All of a sudden, I was hearing everything, and now I don't hear a damn thing on these headphones.
Take mine.
Let me see.
Pull up my mic for a minute.
Can't.
Hold on, man.
This is weird, man. It was working perfectly. Everything was working perfectly, and I don't know why the hell it went awry there.
Try it now.
All right, let me see here.
Something. No.
All right. You hear me there?
I can hear you perfectly fine. Can you hear me?
All right. Yeah, I hear you. All right, now I got an echo here. which is terrible. I don't know what the hell's going on here. All of a sudden, everything was perfect. Now I went to hell. Anyway, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing good, but better than you're doing right now. Sorry.
Yeah, no, this is weird, bro. Everything was perfect, and all of a sudden now the damn audio's gone weird on me and everything. I don't get this. Anyway, all right, so let's. This is brutal, and I've got to hear myself 2 minutes after. All right. Anyway, all right, so let's get into a little bit of mini camp. I know it's hard, Alan, at this point in time to kind of get a good feel for the team, but at least what were you able to get a feel for?
Yeah, not a whole lot. I mean, like you mentioned, we saw it. First of all, in minicamp, there were supposed to be 3 practices. There wound up being 2 because the third day was turned into a day of meetings and then a visit to the new practice facility adjacent to Hard Rock Stadium. And then the second practice, it was pouring in both the first and second practices. And then on Wednesday, Lightning decided to join in the fun. So they moved the practice inside. And based on COVID protocols, only 2 of the reporters had been tested for COVID to that point recently. So those 2 guys were allowed to go inside, and nobody else, including myself, were able to go in. So we only saw like the first, I don't know, about 30 minutes of practice. So that's not a whole lot. And then in the OTAs, there were 3 practices we were allowed to watch, and they were pretty much like walkthroughs. So to say I was able to like really form any conclusions or impressions, yeah, it's really tough. Not a whole lot to see out there.
Did you see like Safed, Jalen Waddle limp? Did you think he was limping?
No, I don't buy that I know it's out there. I don't buy it for a millisecond. He walks like it's not a normal walk. Like he walks like a little bit of a gait. He's not the first one who does not have like a typical walk. Didn't see any sign of an issue when he was running. And here's the bottom line for me is, do we honestly think for a millisecond, if the guy you drafted 6th overall had any kind of an issue with a leg when his calling card is speed, that he would be out there? Come on, give me a break.
Nah, I'm with you there. I didn't think that it was anything big. And again, I thought the same thing. Your number 6 overall pick in the draft. If his foot is injured, you're not putting him out there whatsoever. And I would imagine they'd already checked him out leading up to the draft to see where he was at.
Yeah, and if there was an issue and the kid goes, no, I really want to go out there. I really want to go out there. I don't want to miss this opportunity to learn and all that. Again, this is your first-round pick, 6th overall pick, the guy you made a big investment in, the guy who you want to play a big role coming up next season. 0 chance you put him out there if he's not 100%. But
I'm with you there. I'm with you there. All right, so let's talk a little bit about some of the issues. The X-Men issue. How do you think this thing's going to end up, my brother? Because it looks like we're headed for a holdout when it's all said and done. And the way the coach was describing it, like a unique situation and, not really been done before, and the whole 1-year thing. And I'm sure you've talked about it and written about it, and I've talked about it. The Dolphins will open up Pandora's box if they do this, because they're gonna open up the door for everybody else to say, well, I want you to redo my contract after a year or 2 because I deserve it. You did it for X, you can do it for me. So what do you foresee here?
Well, to quote a really, really good rock band, which I know you love, I think we're headed for a showdown. Yeah, I have a hard time seeing any way this plays out nicely. As you mentioned, it's a precedent to set. I don't know the history if it's ever been done for a guy to get a contract extension when he's got 4 years left on a recent extension. I mean, Howard signed through 2024. Is it also possible that the Dolphins kind of saw this coming, which was one of the reasons they drafted Noah Benogany 30th overall last year, when they easily could have drafted one of the running backs, which was a position of need? So based on the precedent it might set, yeah, I have a very difficult time seeing this ending well. And then what happens? Does Howard not show up at the start of training camp like he didn't show up at minicamp? And eventually, if he does give in and show up, you're going to be dealing more than likely with an unhappy camper. And how does that play out? Does Brian Flores really want to have a guy on his team who's not happy? Oh, by the way, that was kind of the deal with Minka Fitzpatrick in 2019. And what did Brian Flores do? He traded away a really, really good player who the Dolphins had under contractual control for the next 4 years at a good price, and a guy whose talent was absolutely unquestioned and who also did not have the injury history that X has with his knee issues. So me thinks that if a team comes calling to the Dolphins and say, hey, would you be willing to trade X? I'd have to believe the Dolphins would be very seriously considering it.
What'd you see from Noah? Because at least sometimes in minicamp, you can see something out of the corners and the receivers going at it a little bit.
Yeah, they didn't do a whole lot of that. So, and that's the one thing in minicamp sometimes where you're going to see a whole lot of contact, and you can never gauge O-line versus D-line in minicamp. No. But sometimes you can see those one-on-one wide receiver quarterback matchups, and you can see who moves well, who can cover, and all that. Dolphins just didn't do that. I didn't see one of those drills at all during the practices we were allowed to watch. So I don't know. All I can tell you is he looks the part. He's long. He looks muscular in good condition. And this was a guy who was drafted with the idea that he's got a whole lot of potential, that it might take some time to develop. And last year was part of that process. So,
who do you think steps up to try to trade for him? What's the team that's a DB away from a title?
Well, the two that clearly come to mind, I don't know about for a title, but that who clearly need DBs. Arizona Cardinals are one team that absolutely jumps out, and they have one Xavier-like situation on their hands with Chandler Jones, who, oh, by the way, played for Brian Flores in New England. Is there a connection there? Philadelphia Eagles badly need cornerback help. It was thought they might take a cornerback in the first round of the 2021 draft. Instead, they wound up with Devontae Smith.
And there's a lot of trade history between these two.
Correct. And I wouldn't necessarily put them in a category of being close to a championship. I'll give you another team that logically, because of circumstances, well, Xavier Howard's from Houston. Texans could use Texans could use anything anywhere, but the question is, they're in rebuilding mode. Are they really want to make a move for that kind of player? Doubt it. But again, Arizona and Philly certainly stand out as two teams who could use a cornerback.
Tua, how did he look physically for you?
Physically looked fine. He looks a little bit more, I don't want to say cut because he's not cut, but he looks a little bit more
thick,
looks stronger than he did last year, which is a good sign. So from that standpoint, and again, from everything as far as preparing for his second season and doing the things he needed to do, absolutely zero issue there.
When you look at the O-line, I know you couldn't get a good feel for it, but what's your gut tell you happens at right tackle and at center? Because we now heard about Dieter being in the mix, and then obviously we're all intrigued with the Eichenberg kid, and Fluker is there as the veteran. So what's your guess right now on what happens there?
My guess is Eichenberg's going to get the right tackle job unless the Dolphins become convinced after watching him in training camp practices and or the preseason that he's not quite ready to handle it because they gave up a third-round pick next year to move up to get him in the second round. And that's the kind of move you make if you have immediate plans for the guy. That being said, I think you and I talked earlier that maybe it makes more sense to go with the veteran there because there's already going to be a lot of youth on that line, even without Eichenberg. But I can see that as being the logic that, again, you gave up a 2022 third-round pick to move up 8 spots in the second round to get him. You obviously think highly of the kid. And I spoke to somebody, my SI colleague who covers the Fighting Irish, Brian Driscoll, and he told me unequivocally that Eichenberg is pro ready. He can start tomorrow. The only thing he said is if you're expecting Zach Martin, Quentin Nelson, Ronnie Stanley, he probably does not have that kind of upside, but in terms of being NFL ready, he is completely there. So
is he considered more of an athletic talent than a physical mauler, or is it the other way around?
No, I believe he's more. Yeah, he's more of a mauler than he would be. He would be like a great technician or like a great athlete, like a Ronnie Stanley, for example.
It's kind of like that's what Austin Jackson's kind of considered: the athlete, the technical
Correct.
guy. Yeah,
correct. And then the thing, part of the thing with Austin Jackson is to become a dominant NFL tackle, he needed to get a little bit stronger. And mind you, he's not the first guy that to have that issue coming into the NFL. So that would be my guess that Eichenberg will be given every shot to win the right tackle job. At center, I would expect a complete free-for-all between Dieter, Cameron Tom, who they signed, who's got some experience from the Saints, who I'm told is a serviceable player, and then Matt Skura, who has to show he can get back to the form that he displayed in Baltimore in 2019 before he had a nasty knee injury. And from which he miraculously came back for the start of training camp last year. I know he surprised a lot of people just being able to do that. And then he went out and played, didn't have a great season. It was well known for the shotgun yips he wound up having. I'm not overly concerned about the shotgun issues he had because a lot of those happened on a night with tough weather conditions. And then the rest of the season, it wasn't so much of an issue. But the bottom line, though, he wasn't quite the same player he was in 2019. And I do believe that Michael Dieter would have the shot at winning the starting center job if he shows. Again, we only saw in one game last year pretty much after there were a couple of injuries on the offensive line. The Dolphin coaches saw whatever progress he made during practice, to which we weren't privy. So we don't know exactly how much better he is than he was as a rookie. So I wouldn't certainly discount him as a possibility as a starting center.
If this happens, you got an interesting story on your hands. The only question is, I don't know if it's ever happened in Dolphin history. If Eichenberg ends up starting and Dieter starts, 5 draft picks start.
Yep.
Have the Dolphins ever done that?
I'll have to rummage through the media guide. You're gonna have to.
Right?
I can do it right now while I'm on with you, but I'm not sure that would make.
No, it won't be fun. But I mean, that's an interesting stat that if they're able to do that, I mean, and let me tell you, if it even happens, not only would it be an incredible feat, you have to turn around and say, I think the Dolphins have themselves a front office, because if you can draft all 5 guys, I mean, we've been watching a team and covering a team for 2 decades now that can't solve the offensive line issue. They have trouble finding 2 or 3 good linemen. Can you imagine if you actually draft all 5 of your starters?
And all recently, if you know, because Dieter would be the most experienced of the 5. Here's the thing, though: for that to happen, that means Solomon Kindley has to win one of the guard jobs, and I wouldn't eliminate the possibility of Jesse Davis starting for the Dolphins in 2020.
Of course.
But sure, it's possible. Certainly, Robert Hunt's going to start. I don't know where, but he's going to start.
And
Jackson's going to start. So the other 3 spots are more fluid. Like I said, I would expect Eichenberg to be given every shot. Dieter's a free-for-all, and then Kindley, if he can show that he can pretty much pick up like where he was early last season, because from where I sat, I thought he looked real good. I don't know, first 5, 6 games, 7 games, and he started having foot issues, and he wasn't really the same guy in the second half of the season. And the other issue with Kindley is he's a big guy, and I'm a little bit concerned at some point he's going to be too big a guy.
Let me tell you something. And I don't want to put him at the Heat's level, because the Heat has been a front office and coaching staff that has been developing players for 2 decades now, and they've proven it to us. But I think so far, Flo and company have shown us that they can develop players and a team, because both of their teams the first 2 years have gotten better from day 1 to week 17 of the roster. How much better can this team be when they actually have an offseason now?
Well, I hate to go back to the same thing we've always said, but it's going to depend on the quarterback play.
For sure.
Because I think basically I'm not sure the defense can be much better than it was last year in terms of maximizing the talent. What they did last year was they created a lot of turnovers, which is not necessarily transferable from year to year. Yeah, absolutely. I know I've had some people point out to me, yeah, there's certain teams who are good at it every year, but it's not a guarantee. For example, even if the X situation gets resolved, is he going to get 10 picks again this year? Probably not likely. So I think in terms of what they were able to accomplish as a team, a lot of it was the defensive special teams were absolutely lights out. The offense has to pick up the slack and get to that level if the Dolphins are going to improve on last year's 10 wins. And a lot of that is going to depend on Tua making a big step in his second season.
Let's hope so. What are you working on SI so Dolphins can check you out, my brother?
Well, it's a little bit of a slower time, but I've been doing a countdown as we're counting down to the start of the regular season. So every play corresponding to the number of days left is the play in my top 100 countdown of the greatest plays in Dolphin history. Working on that. Going to do some preview stuff, looking ahead to the start of training camp, and this afternoon I'm gonna have something on my memories of the Davie practice facilities since now it's in the rearview mirror.
Nice. And by the way, I'll ruin it for everybody. The spike play is in the top 10 somewhere, right?
Thanks a lot, Big O. Jeez. Okay, fine. You gave one away.
By the way, I was talking about this on Friday. Let's not forget Joe Robbie. You know, as we're watching them move from Davie to Miami Gardens, Joe Robbie had the foresight to build a stadium that could hold soccer, that can hold baseball, and it's the reason why we got the Marlins. He purchased a property that they can not only build that stadium, but then save the tennis facility, and now they're putting the practice field there. To this day, the impact of Joe Robbie continues to be felt.
Oh, no question. Big props to him for getting that done in the first place. And now big props to Stephen Ross for being willing to spend to make that facility absolutely ridiculous. I mean, when they did the conversion and then so to get the tennis tournament there, and I went out there, and my expectations were like, okay, I mean, they do things nicely, so I'm sure it's going to be. I got completely blown away. I mean, it was outrageous. I thought the facility in Key Biscayne would be like impossible to top, and they actually did it. So I mean, major props there.
Crazy stuff. Follow him on Twitter at Poopart NFL, and as always, make sure you follow him on Twitter there and catch him at SI. Alan, as always, you're a stud, my brother. Thank you for taking some time.
Oh, thanks for having me.
You got it, baby. Be good. There you go. Alan Poupart. Good stuff, man. Always appreciate him joining us here on the show. I like it. I like it. What's that?
You want to keep the headset?
Wait a minute. Now you can do it.
Do you want to keep that headset, sir?
I don't know. Let me see if I can.
Did you turn your
I can actually. No, I can hear myself now. I can hear myself.
It was something with the connection.
Something when I brought in the guest, they closed it out, and I couldn't.
Sealed you off.
Couldn't hear
You're
anything.
in the dark.
Being
fed cow crap. You're a mushroom.
By the way, you gave me no response on the greatest heavy metal week in this millennium. I sent you that thing in Italy or France or whatever the hell it is.
When did you send it to me?
It's there. I sent it to you in Grieper. But it is absolutely sick, man. That whole thing. It's there's a concert coming to I think it's Italy or France or some crap like that. But it is.
I don't have it.
I have it here. Hellfest. And I sent it to both of you. I sent it to you. And
did you get a response for
I sent it on Friday. Yes, I did. I sent it Friday at 10:30. Anyway, so it's crazy Hellfest, man. If you want to check it out, I can't even go through all of it. The different days. Deftones, Faith No More, Megadeth, Avenged Sevenfold, Korn, Judas Priest, Deep Purple. It's crazy. Sepultura. There are so many bands and so many different days.
I didn't get it.
White Snake, UFO, Nine Inch Nails, Ministry, Skinny Puppy, Megadeth, Alice Cooper. It goes on and on. Rage Against, Bad Religion, Goldfinger. It is.
Can we go to that?
Check it out. Hellfest. It is in 2022, June 17th through the 26th. They have six different stages. Okay. At the concert. And I mean, it's crazy. The amount of days, the amount of bands that are at it. I thought I would get a response from you on that one.
I didn't get it. I honestly did not get it. The last thing I got from you regarding concert was the alternative over in California. No, I'm not. You are. I didn't get it. It's my fault I didn't get it.
Yeah, because Reaper got it. He's Apple and you're Android. So your Android failed you. That's what it is. They've resent it now. See if your sorry ass Android gets it. Android. What the hell's wrong with you, bro?
Hey, bro. You and your Appleness.
Apple.
Stay with it.
Apple goes all the way, baby. Apple all the way. That's so loaded. I've never been to a rock concert. Well, you go to that one, Man of 1,000 Olds, you never have to go to another one again. Okay, basically. If you go to that concert, did you get it now? Did you get it now at least?
I want to go.
Because I just sent it. I want a whole week. It's a whole damn week, and it is just absolutely sick. The amount of bands that are in that thing. It's crazy. It's like didn't they book? Is actually the thing. Big O, the Echo is really bad. The Echo is really bad. Well, dude, I don't know what to tell you. But
and maybe your headphones.
Huh? No, it's not my my headphones never give echo. So there's a lot of echo. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you now.
Is there still echo?
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I'm asking them if they respond. Is there still an echo?
How about this? How about now? Do you guys have any echo? I took Bill off and see if there's any echo now. Tell me if you got echo now. If there's still echo, if not, then it's when no. All right, so it's your end where we got no echo now. Yeah, it's all on the Bill side. All right, I got you there. All right. Did you guys see Usain Bolt? Yeah, I was. Usain Bolt had twins over the weekend on Father's Day. So his girlfriend is Cassie Bennett. Now he's got a daughter already. Her name is Olympia Lighting. I'm sorry, Olympia Lightning. Okay. Now the newborn twins, their name Saint Leo Bolt and Thunder Bolt. All right. Now here's the question I have for folks out there. What if you're a Bolt kid and you're slow? I mean, for the rest of your life. It's like, hey, I guess you didn't get your dad's beat. You're slow. Are you sure you're your dad's son? All these kind of things are going to happen. So I was thinking about this as you plan ahead.
Put the stem on the apple.
Yeah, no, definitely. The stem probably fell. The apple run away from the tree is what they're going to say. Something like that. I was just thinking about that. What happened to a Bolt kid if a Bolt kid is not fast at anything? You know what I'm saying? So that would be kind of funny. I mean, what if your name is Thunderbolt and you're last in your class in racing? What if your name is Thunderbolt And when you're a PE and you're doing track and field, they don't pick you because you're slow. Just that, because maybe Cassie Bennett isn't very fast. Maybe the wife is that fast. So the kids ended up getting the mom's, lack of speed. I'm just saying, I was thinking about that. Your Usain Bolt has twins. What if those kids cannot run as fast? It would never end the amount of ridicule that those kids would face. And can you imagine your name is Thunderbolt and you're slow as hell? That's not gonna fly, dude. That would be pretty sad for anybody out there. I would be, dealing with that. Wait a minute, what?
I got it. I got zapped by a thunderbolt, and now I have lost my speed.
Basically,
the reverse currency, right? I got zapped by my own bolt, and I'm slow.
Right.
Now I'm just an anchor.
By the way, Jose Baños, thank you, sir, for a super chat. Appreciate you sending in the super chat. Thank you very much. Did the echo come back when Bill opens the mic? I need to know that. It looks like it is. Deadbolt. Yeah, you could be a deadbolt. If you are slow, your nickname would be Deadbolt. There you go. I like it. Echo is back. Don't blame the Unabomber. Got you, Bill. There you go. Well, no, but he did open up the mic. Okay, with the echo, Big O, yell out, all aboard. I.
Try this. Turn up my mic.
Go ahead.
Are we doing better now?
I don't know.
Give us feedback, guys.
I have not.
You know what? It's been 2 hours.
Yeah. They say, yes. Bill's mic is the echo mic. Yes. Echo's still present. Yes. So echo is the one with Bill. So I appreciate. All right. Anyway, what else do we have here that we wanted to talk about on the program? Don't forget, folks, to smash the like button. We need you to smash that like button in a big time way. Always appreciate all that. Everybody says, yes, better now. It's gone now. Yeah, it's when we open Bill's mic. That's what it is. That's where the echo came from, unfortunately. But that's all right. Those are the things that we'll fix down the line.
It could be the cord.
No, it's not. No, cord has nothing to do with echo. Anyway, so we are going to wrap it up here on the show. We appreciate all of you out there, as always, for tuning in and supporting us. We always appreciate it. Don't forget to smash the like button. Make sure you also subscribe to the show. Please share it with folks out there. Tell them about the show so we can get it going out there and spread the word. As always, we will see you all tomorrow. We'll have some interviews. We'll talk about all kinds of things going on in the world of sports. I do want to, I should, before we do go, okay? And thank you, man of 1,005 hoes. I appreciate all of you out there. Echo is back, only gone for a short period of time. Oh, okay.
It's not
all right.
on me. Huh?
So tomorrow, what we're gonna do is I'll address a little bit more on the Dolphin stuff that I wanted to talk about, because I do want to get into some Dolphin stuff. But we kind of already hit our mark here with 2 hours. I want to make sure the voice is, working slowly where I can pile it on a little bit more and more every single day. But anyway, so tomorrow I do want to get into a couple of Dolphin topics that I couldn't get into today, but I will get into tomorrow. And then we'll have some guests. We'll plan on all kinds of stuff for tomorrow. We'll, of course, take your questions and all kinds of good stuff on behalf of my man Bill. Appreciate all of you out there, as always. Super chatting. John Rouse, thank you, sir, for multiple super chats. Dougie Fresh, thank you. Jose Baños, thank you, sir, for multiple super chats. Appreciate all of you out there. Loving it. Dougie Fresh chimes in with a late super chat right there. The Big O Show with Bill is great, great, great. I will echo that. That. That was good. That was good.
Awesome.
That was good. John says, Echo is gone now. No, I don't know what to tell you, bro. It's just one of those things.
Oh, it's an intermittent echo.
Yeah, that's it. It comes and goes.
Intermittent.
Comes and goes. All right. It's at least better than herpes, which stays. At least this one goes. At least it disappears for a while. Oh, well, no, herpes does too, right? Doesn't it like come and go sometimes, right? You get like a blister and then it's gone, right? So there you go. So it's kind of like herpes. The echo is like herpes.
But it's like Eddie Murphy said. The herpes is just like luggage. You just carry it around.
That's right. And there's herpes right there. He just came back. You got the echo. Anyway, we will see you all tomorrow. We thank Franco Panizo. We thank Alan Poupart. You all be good out there, man. Love y'all.